making another big change, which is going to add water into the barn. Definitely not the way to do page wire. If you're wondering why we're doing this in the dark, it's because winter is coming. So one night I decided I'm going to whip up a big guillotine gate. You can easily open and close that. It's almost like a gate. Hey everyone! It's been a busy couple months here. We're renovating literally every single aspect of the sheep farm. I added a whole new pen. I've changed everything inside my lambing barn. Pretty much the whole layout for lambing is going to be completely different this year. Put a new fence up, put a new water in, put a new water line in, put water in the barn, did everything. It's been in the works for about 2 months. I started filming this video middle of October. Right now it's the beginning of January, so I've been very busy at it. But we got everything outside done, and I'm working at getting the barn finished up. In this video I'm going to show you guys all the work that we've done to create a new pen and make some changes to the setup outside. And in the next video coming up, part 2, I'm going to show you everything that I've done inside the barn. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Alright, so we got my sheep pen here, obviously where we spend most of the winter. This is the boundary fence here. All the page wire is 6.5 feet tall to try and reduce predator problems. I have seen coyotes climb up and over it before, so you can't, stop them completely. That's what the dogs are for. But we're going to expand this pen a little bit, and you can kind of see this slopes down here. I'm right on top of quite a ridge here, and that works great for building pens because everything drains away. So we're going to start taking apart this fence behind me. I've got a barbed wire fence and the page wire fence. So I'll tie the barbed wire fence off and just move everything to the east for now, build a new slab fence out of wind boards. That'll be our wind protection, and I still do use a page wire, just, I don't know, another level of protection for things, but we'll get to it. So then the scraper showed up, and this was my first experience doing this. You want to take all the black dirt away until you get down to the base of what's underneath it. In this case, it's just pure sand. And the scraper worked pretty good at making a bit of a V ditch. So I'd have to get the blade and drag the edges back into the center, almost like a windrow, and then I could keep digging away at it. And all in all, I was pretty pleased with how it went. Well, if anyone watches my videos from before, you always remember there's a huge mud hole right here in front of my bunks. Got tired of it. So I think I've got it dug down enough. I've never done road construction before, but we're gonna just tidy the edges up with the blade again maybe. A little bit, get her cleaned up, and then call it good. Okay, it's been a couple days now. So we're bringing fill in here, just basic pit run. Sandy stuff with lots of rocks. I'm gonna build this up to where the ground was, and then we'll top dress it with probably some crushed gravel, I would imagine. I don't want screened rock because I don't want it to be too hard on the sheep's feet, but this is a feed alley first, so I want something good and solid if I want to bring semi trucks back and forth through here. And then to continue expanding this pen this way, we're making another big change, which is going to add water into the barn. I've always wanted water in the barn. I can get rid of my tank setup, but because the ground that this stuff is built on, you need a very wide trench. As you can see, we're exposing the water line there, and so we can't dig under the barn. We have to dig beside the barn, and we'll put up some kind of a riser site and cover it, but then we'll have positive pressure. So down there we exposed an existing water line. We're going to tee into that, run water both ways, so we got water for new pens here, we got water in the barn. It's a big project, but it's coming along. Okay, so we got the trench filled in here. That took a little bit of time. We got it all graded back, looking like it did before. Got my cement pad put on for my water is gonna go. Important to get that nice and level, and you want a decent material base under it. So I'm pretty happy with that. As you could see when the trench was exposed, everything here is built on sand. It'd be nice to have clay to build stuff on, but we don't have the luxury. The road is nicely graded. Gravel's coming first thing in the morning. That's gonna be a dream come true. Oh my goodness, no more mud. So now we're gonna put the fence back. I mean, the fence was kind of where I'm standing here. See, in line with the barn. Well, actually there's a couple posts over there I haven't pulled out yet, but we're gonna move it quite a ways that way. So 2 sheds are gonna sit here, big sheds. I'm just gonna use one of my little ones for now, but we're gonna build that fence, get that closed in, hopefully finish that today. Then of course the snow is coming, so we're trying to get all those jobs done before it actually snows and freezes. It's hard to pound posts in the frost, but we got the trench done, we got the water lines in, we put the water on still. Those are the things that were important before it freezes. So I'm just setting my posts, corner posts, and then I'll mark my line and we'll get to it. It is important to set your first post as true and straight as you can, and these are pretty big posts, so you don't have much of a second chance. And then I use my electric fence reel to set my straight line. It works pretty good. Just don't get too dizzy. Morning folks, sun's up. I'm gonna keep pounding posts. I got a few in there last night, but more importantly, first load of gravel came. Nothing money can't fix. Well, I'm not very familiar with gravel trucks, I guess. Not much of a construction worker, but when you hit this corner here around the gate, I was envisioning things going sideways, but we didn't. That's good. I thought we were gonna need more, but this looks pretty good. We'll pack her down and get her graded up a little bit. Boy, that's nice. What a dream come true. Have gravel here instead of mud. Right, George? Alright, so I got all the posts put in. It's been a couple days since I did that. This is where the water is going, so I put some posts around here. It's nice to have a solid fence right around your water, so if the sheep are rubbing, they can't move it. I found cows destroy everything, so you want to build that out of pipe. Sheep, you don't think they'll wreck stuff, but they just constantly brush against, and they're constantly moving, and then the whole flock moves against stuff, wrecks everything too. So you want solid posts. These are in at least 4 feet. Not great, but it was all I had, so it works. Now, just before it's dark, it's supposed to snow tomorrow. You never know if that's going to be true or not, but I want to get this road graded and finished. Maybe spend the rest of the night picking rocks. Well, it snowed, obviously, you can see, which is just awesome. This is our first snow of the year. I picked all the rocks, and when I say that, I picked all the big rocks. So it looked beautiful up there in the dark right before it snowed. But the road is pretty well done, which is still nice. Now we're working on the fence. This is how I do page wire. It's an extremely hokey setup. Because when I bought this, I only did a little bit of page wire. I was like, I won't be doing much of it. Well, you end up doing a lot when you have sheep. I don't like page wire, much prefer high tensile, but anyway, I've tied off the other end, and then I stab my forks into the ground, use a chain and some come-alongs, and then tighten it evenly and stretch it this way. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. Safety first, folks. That's gonna slip. When it does, stay out of the way. Okay. Got her tied off. Tightest curls in the west. Not the tightest fence though, but it's a whole lot better than it was what I took off. Definitely not the way to do page wire. If anyone's from Australia watching me, they're shaking their head right now, but the one thing I do have that's professional is my Milwaukee staple gun, because this is not, well, I'm not Amish, so I'll get that done now. So I finished page wire. Now it's on to putting this water on. If you're wondering why we're doing this in the dark, it's because winter is coming. So I had to drill these holes we got these anchors. That's what holds the whole thing down. So put those in there, give them a whack. Hopefully they go in straight. Then we'll put the water on. Don't do that with your lights. Okay. Okay. The other water I hired an electrician to wire it in. And I remember he was just swearing non-stop to himself as he was trying to do it. Kind of understand why now. I just gotta hook water up. So this is the end of the hose. Just use my heat gun so it slides on nice. So with the water hooked up, it was time to finish this slab fence. Of course, the weather was just lovely to be working in, but we got to get it done. These are 2x8 rough cut, and I put 3 on, and they're big, heavy 8-foot posts. So this fence was going to be as solid as I could make it. It was raining that one day, and then it snowed the next day, but that didn't stop me from having to get this done. One board at a time, and I screwed everything on this fence together. There were no nails, so 1, if I ever have to take it down, it's easier, and 2, I just don't like nails. So it's been a few weeks since I put this water in. Where is it? There it is. And it is officially now winter. It's very cold. But it's starting to take shape here. I drug a shed over here. And then I pounded some more posts that I did not film. Please forgive me. And of course, we tied our shed down with these anchors. They're probably 4 feet. There's 4 of them, and then it's cable tied so shed doesn't blow away on me because these will flip over. But that's the back of the barn over there. So I pounded these posts and put this plank fence. So the idea is, this is the back of the barn. Sheep's gonna come out of here, go down here, and right into that shed. So now for lambing, instead of having group pens inside the barn, group pen is technically going to be out here. It's sheltered, it's protected from the wind, it's not insulated, but if they have their mothers with them, they should stay warm. If you can keep them out of the wind, lambs can handle cold pretty well, and if they're good and dry out of the jug, then they can go outside. We fight with air quality and all kinds of other issues that cause health problems, trying to keep them inside. I know a lot of people in Canada have big fancy barns and big air exchangers. I can't afford that, so I'm going to try this, see if it works. I could add quite a bit to my lambing groups if I can work this system, but anyway. So there's going to be a gate here and a gate here. We got to weld those up later, probably tonight when it's dark, because I can only do this stuff outside in the light unless I carry my light with me, which I have done. But clock is ticking, lambing is coming, so we better keep at it here. So the sheep with their lambs come out here, and there'll be obviously this thing will be closed in on both sides, but then they go to the shed. I got the water there. I got to build a little brace frame around that. Then from that post to here is where the feed bunks will be, and then I can just feed them nice and easy. And then this here, this is going to be a wind fence. It's going to be 6 feet tall, so the wind is protected from this direction and from this direction. So with the ewes and lambs with their babies in here, and I got the straw blower so I can bed in here very easily. Don't have to enter the pen, don't have to do anything. I think it should work good. And it is starting to come together, so we'll get this fence up, get the water fenced in, get that done. Got to weld a panel here and weld a panel there. And I'm not fixing anything to the shed, because the whole idea here is, and why there's so much space over there, when it comes to cleaning out in the spring, I'm going to hook onto the end of the shed, drag it off the straw pack, clean it all up, load it straight into the manure spreader, and we should be good. It's always good in theory. Let's get to it. Okay, just like that, we got her all done. Welded a couple panels over here, like I said, and then I built this little area around the water. So it's important, you got to be able to service it from the top and from the side, which I can here. And this is all very solid. Like I said, that's why we put the posts in. Sheep aren't going to move that. And then I built a panel here, and these are held in with pins, so I can easily open and close that. It's almost like a gate, but then it's not permanent. I can take all this down. Last thing I did was whip up a couple feed bunks. I built all these feed bunks. That didn't take too long. and I finished the wind fence over here. And then of course put some sheep in here. Made sure I got the height right for the feed mixer. So then the goal is eventually this will be a group pen for all the ewes with lambs, but these ones are really close to lambing, so I just wanted them close up here. And I finished this alley, so it's just a straight shot all the way back. Built 3 gates that go either direction. So there's one here, 2 right at the barn. And then the one thing that I did do is I was thinking, you know, when I'm moving sheep out of the barn and carrying their lambs or whatever, and the sheep starts running, sheep sees, oh, I want to go in that pen. Well, if I had to stop and go and open a gate and come back, I'd be chasing sheep back and forth, and then the sheep in that pen would want to come back. Anyway, so one night I decided I'm going to whip up a big guillotine gate. Didn't take too long to weld that together. The ones you can buy are cheap. Well, they're not cheap, they're expensive, but they're built out of light material and they're a lot smaller. And I wanted this one tall so I can lift it all the way up, lock it up, and then I can walk in and out of there, not this dinky little thing. So that's on, that's done. And officially with that, I'm saying everything outside the barn is complete. The gravel driveway, fence, this fence, the gates, built all that myself. And lambing is getting close. So with all that, we're gonna move on into the barn. I gotta renovate everything in there, and I'll get to explaining that.